How do you align a telescope mount to the celestial pole? Imagine trying to keep a camera perfectly still while tracking a moving object in the sky. That's what aligning your telescope mount to the celestial pole helps you do. It's all about making sure your telescope's rotational axis points exactly toward the north or south star, depending on where you are. This process is called polar alignment, and it's key for smooth tracking of stars and planets. First, you want to roughly point your mount toward the celestial pole. If you're in the northern hemisphere, that means aiming near Polaris, the North Star. Polaris is close to the true north celestial pole but is offset by about 0.7 degrees, so don't expect it to be perfect. In the southern hemisphere, you'll aim toward Sigma Octantis, which is much dimmer and harder to see, so you might need a star chart or a software tool. Next, you need to set your mount's altitude angle to match your latitude. For example, if you're at 40 degrees north, tilt the mount so the polar axis is inclined 40 degrees from the horizontal. Most mounts have an altitude scale or adjustment bolts to help you do this accurately. Then, rotate your mount horizontally so the polar axis points directly toward the celestial pole. You can do this by sighting through a built-in polar scope or by. If your mount has a polar scope, look through it and align the reticle with Polaris or the southern hemisphere's reference star. Some polar scopes have markings to help you get close quickly. Once you've done this rough alignment, it's time for fine-tuning. For very precise work, like astrophotography, you can use the drift method. This involves observing a star near the celestial equator and adjusting your mount until the star no longer drifts in your field of view over time. Alternatively, electronic tools like the Newell Polemaster or software that analyzes star positions can do this automatically. These tools take a picture of the sky, analyze star positions, and guide you to make small adjustments. When you're happy with the alignment, tighten all adjustment screws securely so your mount stays steady. This way, your mount will track the sky smoothly, making it easier to observe or take long-exposure photos. Remember, a well-aligned mount saves you time and frustration during your night out. Proper polar alignment is a skill that improves with practice, and it's a foundation for successful astronomy sessions. Whether you're just starting or aiming for professional-grade astrophotography, taking the time to align your mount correctly makes a big difference.